Hi VC, attempt number 3. This has been a really hard video for me to make. I just want it to be right. But anyway, this is my contest response for Brendan over at Myfriendmorrisey's 100 subs contest. Congratulations, Brendan, on well over 100 subs at this point. Well deserved. Um, Thank you for your channel in the first place. I love your videos. Your collection is amazing. Your taste is fantastic. Um, yeah, absolutely watch every single one of your videos. I really, really love them. And thank you for throwing this contest. It's a great idea. It's perfectly in the spirit of the VC, and I know I'm down to the wire, but I didn't want to miss it. Keep trying to make this list, make it perfect, and I can't. I figured let me just go with the list I have and then try to make a video. I keep ending the video because it's not good enough. Anyway, let's start it off. I'm going to try to go quick. Andrew, Tales from the Crate. I've talked about him in every video I have. I think there's almost no chance that you've seen my videos if you haven't seen Andrew's. But Andrew has got the best collection. He is such a thoughtful guy. He's clearly been digging in this rabbit hole for so many years. He just has so much to offer. And I tend to go into Andrew's videos thinking I'm going to be coming out thinking about music. And I do. I almost always come out with more than a handful of recommendations. But I usually also leave with some thought about life that I didn't have before, or even just a different way to think about something. I recently told Andrew that I think he should be considered for Poet Laureate of the VC, and I really mean that. He's got a deep soul and a thoughtful way of presenting his videos, and I couldn't appreciate them more. So if by whatever moonshot chance you haven't seen Andrew's videos, go check out Tales from the Crate. Up next would be, I think, the other contenders for Poet Laureate of the VC. Dean over Grandma's Handbag, who I've recently started watching his videos and commenting. And hey, Dean, very much in the same vein, although also a distinct flavor. If Andrew is the kind of guy that you have a deep discussion about over beers, Dean's the kind of guy that you have a deep discussion with over whiskey. I don't know if that means anything. But yeah, I mean, Dean's another guy. He's very thoughtful and at times poetic, and just there's something about these guys who just seem to think so deeply about the music that they love, and how they would communicate that their videos seem to become more than the sum of their parts. It's more than just a guy sitting there holding up records. And I mean, this could be said of the entire VC, by the way. This is what I love about the VC, is on its face it's just a bunch of dudes and a few ladies, sorry ladies, sitting there holding up records saying, look what I have. But really it's a deep and rich community, which is very much about connections between people, and a deep and interesting love of music. And I think Andrew's channel exemplifies that. Dean's channel certainly exemplifies that. I do feel every time I've watched one of Dean's videos that I just sat on his porch and had a really deep, even if brief, conversation with him, and that I can't wait to get back over there for the next one. It's the best description I can give, and I'm sorry that I think Andrew mentioned this in one of his videos recently, and it's definitely true. The stuff that I love the most is the stuff that's hardest for me to describe. And with that, I guess I'll just move on to Headley, completing the Poet Laureate trifecta. Headley, another fat bearded man talking about records over across the pond in England. Headley is funny and delightful and intelligent and thoughtful. And he loves country music, and he's got such a deep uh, knowledge of it. I can't wait for his country rock chronology slash genealogy, whichever one it turns out to be. Um, yeah, Headley, just easily one of my favorite VCers. He just, yeah, there goes favorite thing. Hard to talk about. I don't know what to say. Really thoughtful, really intelligent, great taste in music, and definitely types of videos that when I've watched them, I feel I've really come away with something. This is gonna take forever if I don't speed this up. I'm sorry, everybody. Next up is Horrorbiz, Chad. This is a channel that I found through Andrew. I'm so glad I did. Chad has an incredible collection. He's also, seems like he's pretty deeply nerdy about, and I mean that in the best way, about horror films, which is really exciting for me. My wife and I love horror films. I didn't get to do anything except scrub through it quickly, but he just put up a Christmas soundtrack video. I think I saw the Black Christmas soundtrack in there, so I'm gonna have to go back and digest that video fully. But yeah, Chad's just got the Jealousy Generator collection, and he's just always out pulling out something deeply great. I mean, and I mean that, I choose those words carefully. Chad's channel just is full of deep cuts. It's just full of, this wouldn't fall on your doorstep kind of music. The kind of stuff that you need somebody to go exploring first and then come back and tell you, look, this stuff is here. It's just, yeah, I mean, everything from obscure horror soundtracks to, great 80s new wave, to metal, to punk, and everything in between. If any of that sounds good to you, and even if none of that sounds good to you, go check out Chad's channel anyway. Horrorbiz, really, really great. Great stuff. And then next up is Jeff Party. Jeff started up just over a year ago, I think, and I started watching pretty early on, and yeah, he just never stopped. He just puts up content constantly, and he's become a stalwart of the VC in record time. Him and Andrew really just exploded onto the VC. But yeah, Jeff, great music, great taste, beautiful turntable. Yeah, he loves singer-songwriters. He loves classic rock. He loves Van Morrison, which his Van Morrison video, if you watch nothing else on Jeff's channel, what are you doing? Why aren't you watching everything else on Jeff's channel? But his Van Morrison video is fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's hard to describe this. This video is real tough for me, but because I want it to be so good. But Jeff seems to really understand production and what makes a VC video watchable. I don't know. These are terrible compliments. His video is fantastic. He's a really intelligent, thoughtful guy. He's got great taste, great collection, and super worth checking out. And while you're there, check out Sean's Lock. Hope I said it right. That's going to become I'm sure you haven't seen anybody in the VC say your name without wondering if they've said it correctly, Sean. Sorry. But Sean was kind of ushered into the VC through Jeff. I think they're buddies in real life, and Sean's got a great sense of humor, another great collection. I think I've seen another nice turntable too. But yeah, Sean is he's the comic relief angle in some ways. He's just got a great sense of humor, is what it is. He'll put up funny pictures or subtitles that go along with his videos, and it's fun to see self-aware VC videos that break that fourth wall. Well, you're talking at the camera, the fourth wall is broken, but you know what I mean. Yeah, and again, Sean's got great taste in music, and yeah, it's just stuff I've really been enjoying. Moving on is Vinyl Richie. Vinyl Richie is just, I'm pretty sure he's LA based. He talks about going to Amoeba. He's got that SoCal accent. And oh man, does he have a punk collection? Rich just shows like the best punk music and the best garage stuff. He seems to have a deep love of comps, which is rad. It's not just like, look at this grail, look at this grail, look at this grail. It's like, oh, look at this comp that kind of, you want to dip your toe in, get acquainted with this style. But yeah, I don't know. I could watch him hold up records and talk about them all day long. It's just what's great about the VC. He's got a great Morrissey video. He's got a great the Smiths video. Actually, he's got a great the Smiths video. I don't know if the Morrissey video. Regardless, going off on tangents. Vinyl Richie, great stuff. Along with Dots and Loops, Dan. If Richie's got the punk end, Dan has the psych end covered. I think Dan's up in Canada, and it's just deep cut psych after deep cut psych, and all in front of a really big, beautiful Beatles Revolver mural. Really articulate, well-spoken man. There's a great video on there he did with his son, kind of a battle of the generations. And it's clear that the level of discourse in that household is high. But yeah, if you're looking for somebody to show you the deep cuts of psych, you can't do better than Dots and Loops. And not to sell it short, it goes deeper than that. He's got wide-ranging tastes. I've just been kind of getting in recently, so I don't even know necessarily all of what's there, but I know it's all worth checking out. Then next up after that, another channel that I've only just started getting into, but Jeff Kempin. I think he's a newer VCer like myself, but he's got great taste, shows great records, nice range of stuff too. I feel very comfortable at home watching his videos. Like, we're kind of looking out for a lot of the same things. It's just solid VC material. Just This guy clearly loves music. He's got great taste, and is just showing his records and talking about them, and been really enjoying the videos. So get over there and check that out. Another one in a similar vein is Daddy Sensei Silver, Lou. Great variety in his taste. Great descriptions of the music. Some of his videos, he'll even play a little sound clip for you of what the music he's talking about. And I've just been really enjoying both the Jeff and Lou's channels. It's been a great way to just get turned on to more music. As everything in the VC is, but and another one who I've just recently started watching is Matt Hayes. I believe he's a UKer as well. I really just started watching, but I watched a video where he pulled out this grail of Buddy Holly and the Crickets. And it's just, what more could you want from the VC? But great records, great descriptions of those records. All right, and I think here I'm getting close to my limit, so I'm just gonna run through some stuff. Here's a few VC channels which maybe are bigger, have been around longer, or maybe they don't need the subscribers as much as anybody else, but whatever. For me, if you're not watching these channels, you're missing a beat, so I have to include them. Eat Sleep Vinyl, Teddy. The best videos in the VC. And again, I think I've said this before, not to malign no slight to anybody else's videos. It's just that Teddy's videos are so good. The deepest deep cuts, difficult jazz, world music. I mean, everything and anything. Teddy's he's the man. Recently in a comment, he told me he's coming out with a new video soon, so fingers crossed. Zeke the Vinyl Geek. I mean, if you love Andrew, you gotta love Zeke. Zeke, I can't even understand how he finds the stuff he finds. Seems to be constantly digging, constantly picking up incredible records. He's already got an incredible collection, deep, vast knowledge, really intelligent guy. Every once in a while, he'll decide that he wants to contextualize something that he's talking about with a little nugget of history or something, and just never cease to marvel at just what he understands and what he's able to put together and explain, and what he's aware of, and yeah, just great videos. I think I've also seen lurking on some comment sections that Zeke is coming back in January with new videos, so that's exciting as well. Another one, Andy's Vinyl Den. Just again, I'm sure that everybody knows Andy's Vinyl Den, but how can you not watch Andy's Vinyl Den? There's probably nobody warmer in the entire VC. He just comes off as so genuine and so inviting. Really like some of the videos he's done. I think he did one with his daughter where they compared music. I think he's been doing that with his wife as well. Just watching him open some VCLT, it's just I don't know. I got nothing to say because I have too many good things to say. Andy's Vinyl Den, just classic VC. Baraka P Dub Paul. Runs his incredible Tales from the Dead Wax series, which should be essential viewing for everybody in the VC. Just deep knowledge about how to identify pressings and where they were pressed and what the markings in the Dead Wax mean. And so, of course, along with that comes all this extra great information about who masters the records and you know, when to look out for a Bernie Grundman pressing or Kevin Gray, or just so much great information, especially if you're an audiophile. You got to check that out. Andreas Sonic Mainlier. I think he's over in London, originally from Greece. Just such fantastic tastes, such strange and obscure tastes, such wonderful music. I love his descriptions. I usually know none of the music that he's talking about, but I watch it anyway because I just appreciate it. I appreciate watching him. Matt Sands. Sometimes we'll do solo updates, but most of the time he's doing Matt and Sam, his buddy. They run a radio program called The Psychedelic Experience. And from what I can see, I think they'll record a radio hour, and then afterwards they'll record like a VC video where they compare their recent finds. They're both big psych heads, great taste. But my favorite thing about that is just that watching the two of them bounce off of one another, watching their friendship. At the end of every year, they do a top 10 favorite pickups for the year video, and it's honestly it's my favorite top 10 list of the year, more than Rolling Stone or whatever's best of. The thing I care most about is what was Matt's favorite thing that he got this year, and what was Sam's favorite thing that he got this year, and what's the video like where I go on that journey with them. I can't wait for this year's, and I highly recommend going back and watching all of the previous years. And I forgot Ronnie's record room. Ronnie, hey Ronnie, great stuff. Just such a genuine, genuine person. To be super honest, Ronnie's taste in music, it just runs harder than mine. Basically, there's a lot more metal, a lot of music that is as yet unexplored by me, but it just doesn't stop me from enjoying his videos. I mean, again, I think I've said this before, but the great thing about the VC is not necessarily sharing people's tastes as much as sharing the passion. And Ronnie certainly has that passion. And yeah, I also, Ronnie shouted me out in one of his videos. Can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And just wanted to give some love back because it's very much well deserved. One last one, because I keep meaning to do this, and I think it is deserved. Although technically, this channel is not a VC channel. I don't think they claim that moniker, but they're vinyl videos on YouTube, and they've been meaning a lot to me. Prison for Kids, school, I think, is the hidden message there. But it's appropriate because their videos take you to school. They're a band, I believe, Prison for Kids, and I think their names are Chris and Caesar. Excuse me. But let me stop rambling. They do YouTube videos about books and about records, and the Vinyl Roulette channel is fantastic. Caesar blindfolds himself and runs a hand over his record collection, and I believe Chris is his name. I hope I'm getting that right. Stops him at a random point. He pulls the record out, and he speaks in depth about that record. And his knowledge of his own collection is just so deep that he can talk for like 15 minutes about anything that he pulls out of his collection. And it's always fascinating. He has a really deep understanding of the story of music, particularly punk, post-punk. That's maybe some industrial music, and Faith No More has popped up. It gives you a picture. The Melvins have come up a lot, but it almost doesn't matter if that aligns with your musical taste or not, because it's just so fascinating to watch him talk about music. And they put one out every week, a new Vinyl Roulette. I think they're up to in the 20s now. They're all fantastic. They're all worth seeing. And just there's so much love being shared here. I thought no better place to try and spread that love myself. So yeah, to everybody who I forgot, I'm sorry. To everybody who I brought up and then gave a disappointing description of, I'm sorry. But to everybody in the VC, especially the people I've listed here, especially the people that I interact with regularly, thank you so much. It's been such an incredible community to be a part of. I had a lot of anxiety for a long time about starting, about joining, and it's amazing how none of that exists anymore. It was all folly. It's been great. So glad to pay the love back. Congrats again, Brendan, and again, great idea for a video. And yeah, all the best. See you in the next one.